buenas tardes, bienvenidos a esta rueda de prensa y quiero darle formalmente la bienvenida a uno de nuestros invitados especiales en esta novena edición del Festival Internacional de Cine de Morelia, que es el director francés y a partir de ahora amigo del festival, Michel Gondry, para que les pida un aplauso. Como saben, vamos a exhibir más tarde hoy a las 8:15 una película de Michel, FICM Rewind, y también algunos de ustedes recordarán que hace unos años clausuramos el Festival de Cine de Morelia con una película de Michel, La Ciencia del Sueño. Así que bueno, ya hemos exhibido sus trabajos con anterioridad. Pues Michel, es un honor tenerte entre nosotros y los dejo para que tengan esta oportunidad de dialogar con Michel. Está a su disposición para esta sesión de preguntas y respuestas. Así que muchas gracias.
Mario Giacometti, Patronazione de Costa Rica. Michel Gondry, hello. Your movies are so rich with visual inventions that I always wonder if you plan every shot in advance or if you leave some space for improvisation and experimentation on the set. I would like to comment on your working method, and also I would like to know if that method changes whether you're working for a commercial, a music video, or a movie.
Yeah, it's a good question, because when I did my first, thanks for having me here. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, I speak English and French. But my first feature film, Human Nature, was completely designed. I had storyboard every shot, and I suffered from it. I find it contriving for the actors, and I realized that I miss out a bit of magic or life, basically. I remember just after Human Nature coming out, I went to see Et tu m'aimes tant bien, Alfonso Cuarón, and I was extremely jealous of the life that every shot was delivering. Everything was full of life. My problem with Human Nature, one of the problems I had, was that I had to shoot in Los Angeles and pretend it was the East Coast, like Washington or more Boston. So I could not put the camera everywhere I wanted. Like if my actor suddenly wanted to go this way, I would follow him, and then there was a palm tree, there you go, or Spanish house, there you go, I couldn't use the shot. So I decided for my next movie, Eternal Sunshine, that I would not storyboard except when there is special effect, and I would leave a lot of room for the actor and try from this point on. My job was trying to capture life and of course tell the story, but in every segment of the story I was telling, I was trying to maintain life the way it is when you live, basically, to your life. In videos, music videos, I always try to keep a little bit of those. Some shooting are very bland, but I always leave a little room for accidents and happy surprise. I guess happy accident and surprise.
Hi, Mr. Gondry. Arturo Perez Navarro from Associated Press. What do you know and what do you like about the Mexican cinema?
Well, I have a terrible memory, and I never remember anything like that. So what I know is that Mexico was a sort of exile for a lot of surrealists, like Buñuel did a series of films in Mexico. A lot of painters came here. And in terms of movies, I was talking about Alfonso Cuarón, which is one of my favorite directors from now. I'm not prepared I don't watch a lot of movies. It's not like my main occupation. But I really like you guys. Like to be here. I've been not here in Mario, but in Mexico City several times. It's a very nice energy.
Hello, it's a pleasure to have you here. There is a tendency in the Mexican new filmmaking on, I could say, contemplative filming, like that goes the I don't know, this European filmmaking. What do you think about this type of genre?
This type of what? Sorry.
Genre. This type of filming.
Oh. Well, you guys give me very intellectual questions. I mean, I love Tarkovsky. It's very somber. I read some interviews because that was a very funny book. He was having this very long interview with a woman. He was pretending to be very misogynistic to her, and it was sort of horrifying. But his movies are quite amazing. I mean, you can see the difference between Solaris, the one he directed, and the one that was that who directed the other one? Josh Clooney? No, was with Josh Clooney. Yes, Soderbergh. They don't match. I think. I mean, I have respect for this director, but I think when you watch the original, he has so much more intensity, and I think he has that in his work. Every single shot has intensity, and now it's very hard to define what he does to get that. And one more time, I will have difficulty to remember all the name of his movies, but I've seen maybe 5 of them. And there is a very a great power in them that are really that impresses me.
The last question is, what do you think about working with non-actors, non-professional actors for fiction?
I love that very much. In the system where movies are made in America, above a certain budget, you need to have a famous actor to support the financing. So I had to deal in the past with famous actors. There's a lot of things that come with it that I'm used to deal with in my job doing videos, like for the Rolling Stone. And sometimes people are easy, and sometimes they're more complicated. And it's people who have definitively a different style of life that it's really removed from the people they're supposed to embody. So sometimes they need to be reminded what's real life. But fortunately, I've shot as well with non-professional actors. I just finished the shooting of a movie called The Way on the Eye, shot in the Bronx with like 40 kids, adolescents. They were amazing. And I think in Be Can Rewind, we're going to screen tonight, I tried to mix both to, there is always in the frame, half of the actors were just people living there, and half were professional actors. And it's good to confront them because they have to, for a professional actor, they're going to have a recipe to produce what they think you want from them. As for the normal person, that's not the job, it's just going to be himself, and so he's not going to be, he doesn't repeat the same action all the time. He's going to surprise the other one, and so it's good because he reminds the professional actor that what life is. I'd like to confront them. And actually, when we did Become One, it was a difficulty because there is very strong union rules that forbid you from employing non-union actors, so we have to make them dancers. So we created all those little choreography about Fatswaller to be able to cast all those people who are living there. The American system is a little bit this way. You take a place like that, you wipe all the life, and then you recreate it with people who it's their job to do it. But I don't think they're doing a good job because they're doing that all the time. So they are always very they have one way of being a human being, which is always the same, and it doesn't bring life very much.
Good afternoon, Fabiola from here from Morelia. I'm just a civilian. I wanted to ask you, many people over here, many people look up to you, but do you have anyone that you look up to, that you admire?
Charlie Chaplin. I try to not be influenced by filmmakers who have reached a sort of an end to their art. Like for instance, many directors are very influenced by Stanley Kubrick, and it's very dangerous because their surface, like him or even Martin Scorsese, for instance, with the film side, they are amazing directors, but I think they have an influence on other people that sort of limit your creativity. And so it's very. I didn't have ambition to become a filmmaker. I was doing animation, I was in a rock band, I did video for my band. You know, I had some social sense of the life, but it was kind of vague. I didn't know if I had a message, except that I saw my parents failing in their creativity, and I wanted to overcome that with my own creativity. So this I knew a little bit about, I could talk about that. But, so that's something I thought of a lot. It's something I can talk about. So if you ask me a political question, it's going to be a little more difficult because I don't have enough memory, but I have things to say, of course. But to come back to the question, so I try to avoid to be too impressed. Those directors, like, let's say Stanley Kubrick, did only 7 movies maybe, and they are all really right there in the face and completely amazing. And like, if you watch too much of a movie, then you don't know where to put the camera anywhere than in the center, for instance, because he made all these movies like that. And it becomes very formal. And directors, especially from my generation, came from video directing. They took a lot from those directors who had already reached the end of their expression. And then they just reproduce it. Maybe they do better movies than mine, because my movies are imperfect, but I think I try different things, and I tell myself I'm doing the same job, so I try to not be. I mean, I watched Orson Welles' The Process the other day, and I admired it, and I said it's dangerous to be influenced by this type of movies, but it's too strong on the surface. So I prefer to go back to Charlie Chaplin, let's say, or in France. There is a lot of directors that I like René. I'm sorry, I'm sure I could give you a lot of Mexican names. It's going to come back to me. I apologize. I didn't expect this question.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo tengo un par de preguntas. Bueno, quisiera saber cuáles son tus próximos proyectos.
Okay.
Quisiera saber cuáles son tus próximos proyectos, si vas a seguir filmando o si tienes algo con algún grupo, algún cantante. Y dices que ya visitaste la Ciudad de México. Me gustaría saber qué conociste y qué fue lo que más te gustó.
Okay, I went to Mexico City to promote the Science of Sleep.